There is a theory, one that has circulated quietly in alternative history circles for decades, that challenges one of the most foundational pillars of modern science. The theory does not merely question evolutionary timelines, it questions the existence of dinosaurs themselves. According to this narrative, the giant skeletons displayed in museums across the world, the towering frames of Tyrannosaurus rex, the sprawling vertebrae of sauropods, the fossilized remains of creatures said to have ruled Earth for over 160 million years are not what science claims they are. They are misidentified or misrepresented, or, in the most extreme versions of the theory, deliberately falsified. Within this framework, dinosaurs are not ancient reptiles. They are a cover story, a scientific reclassification designed to conceal what proponents believe were the true giants of Earth's distant past, enormous humanoid beings described in ancient texts, mythologies, and religious writings across cultures. Biblical Nephilim, Greek titans, Mesopotamian demigods, giants woven into the folklore of nearly every continent.
Mm-hmm.
Supporters of the theory argue that early archaeological discoveries, particularly during the 19th century, uncovered skeletal remains far larger than modern human anatomy could explain. But rather than rewriting human history, they claim institutions reinterpreted those bones as belonging to prehistoric reptiles, constructing an evolutionary narrative that displaced giants from the historical record. In this view, museums did not lie outright. They reclassified, they reframed, they replaced one story with another. You heard anything about this? This is first for me.
Bits and pieces of this, yes, I've heard, because I definitely have heard about giants.
Yes.
And I do know that we have had giant versions of animals that we have today, the giant sloth being one of them. Uh, but I didn't know about the extreme version of which dinosaurs don't exist and they're just misrepresented.
Purposely.
Yes. Purposely,
Yeah.
yes.
I've
Yeah,
never
that's a new one for me. That's a little
yeah,
farther than what I've heard.
I've never heard of this. I mean, obviously I've heard of Nephilim and giants and blah blah blah, but
Yeah.
I've never heard that there's a cover up and that dinosaurs actually were never real. They're just bones of
I mean,
ancient massively tall people, and I've never heard that.
I'm so sorry, but I can just imagine a massively tall person with little hands. I'm sorry, it just makes me laugh a
I
little bit.
All I'm picturing is a massively tall person with a ridiculously enormous feet. But let's move
Hobbits.
on. The theory gained traction for several reasons. In the 1800s, newspapers frequently published sensational accounts of giant skeleton discoveries.
Now, I believe
Some
those
me-
have been covered up
yeah,
purposely. Yes.
some measuring 10, 12, even 20
Mm-hmm.
feet in height. Let me reread that to myself. Sensational accounts, yes. I don't know. Well, let's see. Many of these reports were later exposed as hoaxes, exaggerations, or misidentified mastodon and mammoth remains. Misidentified, okay. But the headlines endured, and once printed, they entered cultural memory. From there, the idea evolved. If giants once roamed the earth and their remains were found, where did they go? Why are they absent from modern anthropology? And why do museums instead display giant reptiles from a time millions of years beyond recorded human history? To those predisposed to institutional distrust, the answer seemed obvious. Dinosaurs replaced giants. Prehistory was rewritten and humanity's past was edited. I mean, just that paragraph says it all right there. Like, number one, why would there be a need to hide and cover this up? It doesn't make sense. And number two, why would you not hide these massive dinosaurs that once roamed the planet,
Mm-hmm.
but you would hide just giant people. It doesn't make sense at all. You know,
No, not at all. Like,
I don't know why you would want to. I mean,
we have, I'm pretty sure that we're aware of, I think, 7 different subspecies of prior Homo sapiens that wandered and interbred to come to the point of us. Like, but in no way are any of them giant. They're actually quite small.
yeah,
We've gotten larger as we've evolved into modern
much
humans.
and much shorter lifespans too, not
Yeah,
just
oh,
due to
yeah.
health, due to predatory action. Ooh, what a great time to travel back to. That would be awesome. To be invisible with no smell, so the animals can't smell me too.
That part. And also, so I can't smell them.
I'd rather smell them than they smell me.
Facts. Okay.
Well, but when we move from speculation into physical evidence, the landscape changes dramatically because dinosaurs are not supported by a handful of ambiguous bones. They are supported by one of the most extensive fossil records on Earth. Millions of specimens have been discovered across every continent, from massive articulated skeletons to microscopic bone fragments, from fossilized skin impressions to preserved soft tissue proteins. Entire ecosystems have been reconstructed from their remains. Predators, herbivores, juveniles, eggs, nesting colonies, trackways spanning miles, these discoveries were not made by a single institution or government body. They were uncovered by thousands of independent researchers,
Yep.
universities, private fossil hunters, and geological surveys across the globe, often in open, publicly available, documented excavations.
Yep.
I, let's look at some photos. I forgot to share the first set. Um, so let's just look at them all now, I guess. Not all, maybe all. We'll see. I don't know. All? What do you think?
Let's do all. And while you're
Yeah.
pulling those up, there
Let me,
actually is a entrepreneur back in South Bend, Indiana, who owns the South
ugh.
Bend Chocolate Factory. And
Ooh.
he actually has a massive love of paleontology and natural science history. And he just recently came up, like, he just recently opened the first dinosaur museum in Indiana. I know, kind of crazy. So look at that, another specimen of a fake reptile. It's
Jesus. You,
gorgeous.
you just go to the aquarium here and you see the giant skeletal remain of a massive whale hanging from the ceiling. Just that is like, Jesus Christ, are they really that big? And that's not even the
Yes.
true size once you add in the fat, the skin, the muscle, whatever.
We have a whale hanging from our museum ceiling too. Must be a thing.
Whale just washed up on shore out here, by the way.
Yeah. Also,
But,
two
you know,
oar fishes were seen in Japan recently as well.
oh no.
I know.
Oh no, and nothing happened after the last two sightings. Oh, surprise. Let me share my screen right now.
Okay.
So here we go. These were images go with the first section here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, good luck hiding that. I mean, you just destroy it, but why? You know,
Mm.
and you know, we really gonna have humans this size fighting humans this size?
David and
Come on.
Goliath.
Yeah, it's not even a.
They really
I
sensationalized
really
that.
like where they placed Goliath's sword. That's interesting placement, I believe, and kind of goes to what I was saying. Image number 2. Oh,
Choice placement. Oh,
this is
hello. Okay.
clearly not
Uh,
real. Look at the size of the real human, and look at the size of the real humans and the fake human. Um, I could do this in 10 minutes on some editing programs I have.
do
Probably make it
people
look
not
better.
recall that CGI existed long before AI did? Like,
We've learned over our lifetimes that people might not be
people have
so
been modifying
smart.
photographs since the 1800s. Like,
Yeah.
people should not in any way be surprised, and yet still they are.
It's no different than seeing all these fake bullshit posts on Facebook, and then it's just there for comments, likes, and shares, and then you see people bitching about it, and then you see those
And
same
then,
people actually
yes.
commenting on it. No, those aren't chemtrails. Those are because of this and this and this, and like almost everyone, not everyone, but a lot of them all just post like, are you guys dumb? Like, do you not get this is just to get you to comment? Why do you think
Yeah,
there's
clickbait.
like thousands of comments? Why do you think they never reply? Hello.
I hate clickbait so much.
Yeah,
And
you
then
don't
like
like
the
it. But you're
misleading
the ones keeping it
headlines to
alive.
make you like think one thing, and then of course people are only going to read the misleading
And I
headline
just read
and
one
not
today.
even click on it and then just duck
Just
shit in
read
the
one
comments.
today. Yep.
Oh
Yep.
lord. Yeah.
Number 3,
Oh.
Jesus
Oh.
Christ, just okay, death and destruction
He
everywhere.
said, "Bitch, you coming with me."
Which one?
It looks like
There's 2 here.
Homie headed off to the right side of the screen.
It almost
Nope,
looks
not
like
the
they're
Blondie. Blondie is yoinking a fucking chick to go with him.
it almost looks like they're, one two-headed beast, but that'd be weird because he has 2 left
No,
arms.
I totally see two
This is
different
his right
sets of
arm.
legs.
So next up, here's a, dinosaur fossil.
Hey!
Oh, yeah, nope, I see a human femur right here, a human skull. Yeah, I
Yeah,
see how
yeah,
they're making a
yeah.
dinosaur out of giants.
Yeah, and
I mean, come
I
on,
see
people.
a couple of human ribs thrown in there as well.
Yeah, my
Uh,
teeth look like this.
Totally. Mine too. And that's exactly what my pelvis bone looks like. If you
You
just like
know,
flip it and rotate it.
always been weird to me. Doesn't the T-Rex look so unbalanced? Like, how does
Yes.
it stand up and not fall forward? Obviously, tail helps with that, but
Yeah.
just the amount of weight up here compared to back here, like, why is this thing
I
not?
wonder if that's why it
Do
has
they
such little arms.
and do they really walk on their tiptoes like this when the rest of their foot's right here? When they're this massive and hanging all over the front, just seems weird to me. I'm not
I
questioning it.
mean,
It just seems
I
weird.
I feel like the T-Rex honestly has had more question to its authenticity over the years more than any other skeleton
Yeah.
that's been found. Because like I remember they were like, oh well, the T-Rex isn't actually a thing. It was a misrepresentation of two fossils that were
Hmm.
found together. Blah blah
I wouldn't be
blah.
surprised,
But why
but
are there so many of them then?
well, exactly. Why would you
Yeah,
find
like
T-Rexes in numerous different countries like
I
that
just
or
feel like
bones
maybe
placed
we're setting
together?
them up wrong.
Why would you find bones placed together in numerous different locations? They have to happen to be bones from the same 2 different types of dinosaurs
That
found
part,
together in a certain pattern that would make you think it's a T-Rex in
that part,
America,
that part,
and
that
then you
part.
find one in China and you'd see the same thing. Give me a fucking break, people.
That yeah, I just remember there was like controversy about T
Yeah.
Rexes. Like they've never questioned like a Triceratops or a Brontosaurus or a
Well,
Dilophosaurus. Like
just look at the head. Look at the size of the head. I
yeah,
mean, that is going to throw this thing off. But you
look
get
at
a
the
much
fucking Brontosaurus, dude. It's a freaking giraffe on
you,
steroids.
you get a much better cross angle view of the dinosaur in the background though from this,
Oh yeah,
and you see how long the tail is. However,
it's a
um,
quadruped.
uh, ooh, wait,
No, you're looking at
yeah, yeah, it is a
yep,
different one.
yep.
However, um, you
Look at
know,
the
now
freaking
you look at this
backwards
tail and you can
arms.
see that this is actually longer than it looks. And then when you add on all the
Yeah,
meat and stuff, there's weight back here, and you can move this around to counterbalance.
for sure.
So, yeah, it makes sense.
But the thing is, so look at this little tiny little chicken arms. If it's backwards,
That
fucking,
has never made sense to me.
they're
That's
like
probably the biggest abomination, if God's real, that he's ever made. But
not the
I mean,
platypus, but the
come
T
on.
Rex.
Yes. Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
they're
I'll
not even
I'll
like
fight you,
chicken
bro.
wings. Like that's
I'll
the
fight you,
weirdest
bro.
part.
What, are you gonna punch me?
Like they're not even chicken wings. They're like it's just crazy.
Maybe they really were wings. Obviously, the thing couldn't fly, and it just was like a
No, because that's a shoulder
deformity.
blade. I mean, no, I feel like if anything, this probably had if it had wings, the wings would be more like an emu. But the fact that it has claws totally says it did not have wings. However, most dinosaurs are believed to have actually had feathers.
My daughter just told me today, a girl in her class, she thinks she's emu. And I said, do you even know what the hell emu means? Because I don't. She's like, yeah, they wear black. And she said, mumbled something else she didn't really know. All right, next picture. Um, what is like okay. I don't know if this is real or not. I'm assuming this is from where I got some of them. But this is just weird. I mean, it almost looks like a snake. I don't know. It's weird, especially with these laying here. But who knows how these things crumble and all
That's the
that
way the
crap over
cookie
time.
crumbles.
Yeah, the dinosaur. Next, Bigfoot
Footprint.
lost a couple toes.
No, that's definitely a T Rex print because that is the exact same foot that Littlefoot curled up in with his tree star after his mom got fucking.
Well, all I see is a middle finger.
Sorry, I
But,
my childhood has come flashing back like, oh, Littlefoot tree star,
well,
no.
here,
Sorry.
here's what I want to know. Looking at that, so look at this picture. What do
Yeah,
you see on each toe,
claws.
claws, toenails, whatever you want to call them? Where are those impressions?
More than likely, it's not actually a T Rex. It's probably like a
Yeah.
like one of them like duck
Oh yeah,
billed.
sure. What the fuck ever.
Ah.
Probably. Um, You know what's interesting to me is you have a print like this. Let's assume this is, I mean, this is a real photo, but let's just assume when they took this photo thinking it's a dinosaur print, let's assume it really is. Just
Mhm.
for argument's sake, for anyone who would question it, let's
Okay,
just assume this is a dinosaur print. How long ago did they live? Freaking 10,000 plus years ago. Um,
couple
and
million.
um, it's always been interesting to me why we would find their footprints. Now I know these things can be massive. I know they're just gigantically heavy. They're going to leave deep impressions, but it almost makes you think that something massive happened, a major cataclysmic event, which killed them off fairly quickly and would then drop silt, dust, debris that would fill in those and layer the top layer of the
However,
ground and
not all
prolong them.
footprints are from the same era.
No.
What could have happened was there could have been a volcanic eruption, not so much like a meteorite hitting or not even like a mass destruction. It could have been, it was in the fallout range of like the ash from the volcano, or it could
Hmm.
have been like part of
Like I
a
said, cataclysmic
massive,
event.
yeah, it could have been part like not so much like, elimination knee, just
Yeah,
cataclysmic.
I think it falls. I'd have to do some research on it. It's not for this episode, but I'm pretty sure the alleged extinction of these things falls in line with possibly some type of massive events. We're talking
Yeah,
no sun, right?
they
So
said that a comet hit the Earth.
yeah,
Yeah,
so I mean, it totally makes sense.
mhm.
I think.
Fuck everything up.
Yeah, interesting. Well, that's enough of the pictures. Let's continue.
Yeah,
So anatomically, dinosaur skeletons differ profoundly from human structures. Okay.
I mean, we just had
Their
the conversation about
yeah,
the.
their hip girdles, vertebral alignment, limb articulation, and cranial morphology bear no resemblance to primate anatomy,
Wow, imagine
giant or
that.
otherwise. Many possess hollow bones similar to modern birds. Others show tail counterbalances. Hmm. Did digitigrade
Sorry.
God. Well, digitigrade stance mechanics and respiratory structures incompatible with humanoid physiology. Even more compelling are transitional fossils, feathered dinosaurs bridging anatomical gaps between reptiles and modern avian species. These specimens demonstrate evolutionary continuity, not humanoid gigantism, and unlike giant skeleton claims, which rarely produce verifiable specimens,
Imagine
rarely
that.
produce? That means at least one has been produced? Okay. Dinosaur fossils can be examined directly in museums, laboratories, and public dig sites worldwide. They are not hidden, they are displayed. Yeah, I mean, we pretty much said that. Let's keep in
Yeah,
mind this
yeah.
is kind of to counter those that would say, yeah, dinosaurs bullshit. It was giant bones instead. Come on. So, if dinosaurs are so well supported scientifically, why do giant narratives, no pun intended, persist so strongly? The answer lies in not in paleontology, but in cultural anthropology. Nearly every civilization has stories of giants. These figures often symbolize power, divinity, corruption, or pre flood civilizations destroyed in cataclysm. Such myths likely emerged from several sources. Ancient humans discovering large fossil bones without scientific context, exaggerated oral histories of unusually tall individuals. Symbolic, yes.
I was to say they also have them in the Egyptian But I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
it's I saw this comment on a much unrelated video on TikTok, but it said, "Damn, I wish that library wasn't destroyed, the Library of Alexandria, because the information. I mean, shit, there may have
Where's
been
that
something
supposed
about
to be at?
giants in there. You never
Where
know."
where's that supposed to be at?
That was supposed to be in Egypt, the Library of Alexandria.
By the pyramids?
Yeah.
I wanna say, because some semi-new information has come out on these alleged structures underneath the pyramids that have been found. I wanna say I heard recently in the last month or 2 an idea of some people wondering if I believe it was that library is actually down there. It could have been something else I heard, but that I'm pretty sure it was that.
Ah.
But quick side note, you guys want to know a new theory on how these pyramids were built? I heard, and maybe it's not new. Maybe I just heard it, but from what I heard, it sounded like it's kind of a new theory. Not necessarily from scientists, but I've heard it from someone who got it from somewhere. Um, Totally makes sense too. When you think about the size of these stones, how massive they were, as you get higher and higher and higher on the pyramid, you have less footage to work with because it gets narrower as you go up, which means your angles become steeper, and there is a set angle which at max humans would be able to do this. You go farther than that, it's just too much weight, even on like rollers and things. Um, the idea is that the pyramids were built from the top down. If that doesn't make sense, what you would basically do is build a massive structure out of these stones and you would carve that down into the pyramid.
No.
You could then get easily build the ramps to get those stones there. You don't have to worry about the angle, you don't have to worry about it narrowing. However, the problem that exists with that is the ramp you would need would have to be so goddamn long. However, could be done and dismantled.
Hmm, interesting.
I
We'll
mean,
talk about that on another show.
it works 10 times better than floating stones that big up. I mean, come
Yeah.
on. So, for the dinosaur as cover theory to hold, it would require a coordinated suppression effort across centuries. Universities, museums, private collectors, international research teams, independent dig operations, all fabricating or misclassifying evidence in unison. Where have we heard this before? Yet fossil discoveries occur globally, often by amateurs, construction crews, or hikers who report finds long before institutions become involved. Specimens are cataloged, peer reviewed, and studied across competing academic bodies with no centralized control. Now, the conspiracy theorists would say, yes, the competing academic bodies are in on it. They've been got by the government.
Ooh.
In science, disagreement is common. Fraud is exposed quickly, and physical specimens remain open to reanalysis. If giant humanoid skeletons existed in significant numbers, they would not remain hidden indefinitely within such a decentralized discovery network. So, where does that leave the question? The full truth sits between myth and mistrust. Dinosaurs are real, supported by overwhelming fossil, geological, and biological evidence. Their existence is not speculative, it is one of the most well documented chapters in Earth's natural history. But the persistence of giant narratives reveals something equally real: humanity's deep cultural memory of discovering bones without context, and our instinct to explain the unknown through the lens of our own form. We imagine giants because we are human. We scale mystery to ourselves. And when institutions present answers that feel distant, millions of years, alien ecosystems, reptilian dominance, and mute buttons, some seek alternative interpretations that keep humanity at the center of the story. Giants do that, dinosaurs do not. One narrative elevates human mythology, the other humbles human chronology. So, did giants roam the earth? In myth, unquestionably. In cultural memory, universally. But in the physical fossil record, no
No.
verified evidence supports the existence of ancient giant humanoid species. Dinosaurs, however, remain not as constructs, not as cover stories, but as the
I'm
preserved
sorry, that's still so
biological
funny to me.
legacy of a world unimaginably older than our own, a world whose bones still rise from the stone, not to hide humanity's past, but to reveal Earth's. Yeah. I have never heard of this. Like I said, giants and stuff, yeah, so much, but I'm just never.
Not as
I
a
can't
cover
believe
story. Like,
I've never heard of this.
I mean, I'm surprised I haven't either, considering that, the giant covers, like giants themselves, are, oh, swept under the rug and they existed. They're trying to hide the existence of, an alien race that helped us build our civilizations. Like, I've heard that, but I
Oh
haven't
yeah,
heard
yeah,
that dinosaurs never existed and that they are misidentified
or
giant
covered
human.
up
Yeah, or
with
cover.
giant humans.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, there's things in there that sound similar to alien UFO esque stuff. How the stories work. No proof, nothing. I mean, something else people don't think about. I'm not saying life doesn't exist now. I believe it does. But whether or not it's come here, I think it's probably impossible. But either way, anyone who claims that this is true, you're just assuming that if these life forms breathe, that our atmosphere is exactly what they would breathe.
it's
It's
not
like,
how that works.
what if we go to another planet
I
that
mean,
has
you and I both
no
played No
atmosphere?
Man's Sky. We know, like, the first world they drop your ass on, you're like, I can't breathe. And you have to, like, run
Well,
around to find things that help you fix your breathing regulator. Like,
yeah,
that's
it's
that's the most legit thing. That was actually
yeah.
kind of a cool game. They really dropped the ball on
Let's
that.
say we could travel at like 4 or 5 times the speed of light. Then
Hmm.
traveling to other planets and other solar systems would be completely acceptable,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Let's say we found a planet, some other solar system had water, had an atmosphere, and we could tell there was life down there, right? Forget the fact that there's life and us simply being there unprotected protected could cause massive problems for the life there. Um, let's just forget that fact. Do you think we would land on this planet and just step out without any type of protective suits on? Um, without oxygen on us,
Just in
we're
case.
just
So here's the thing.
assuming we could breathe in that atmosphere. That's the thing with aliens
I would
coming here.
never stop at this planet. I would observe what was going on and be like, maybe the next pit stop, guys. Can you hold it to the next one? Like,
Now, you so that falls right into other things that people talk about, and it like assumes that these things would know what we are, know what we're up to. They'd understand that this is a nuclear bomb. They'd understand this is a car. That's an airplane. That's called water. Those are fish. These are humans. They're the smart ones. The rest aren't as smart, but they are kind of smart, but they can't talk. They can't do the same things. They can't make fucking things, but they can kill like no other. I mean, you're assuming they would know all this, and then at that point, that assumes that they would know what we're
I
doing.
was
They'd be
trying to
able
make
to,
a joke.
you know. Well, I don't know what your joke was. I don't think you're a good joke teller then. But you brought up a good point. That's out there. People don't think about those things. But what was the joke?
The joke that, like, the whole, can you guys hold it to the next planet? Like, upon
Oh,
looking at our planet and being like, ew, don't want to stop here.
I hear tons of people say that. I hear it at least once or twice a month
I think
on
it's funny.
Star Watch.
Like, it's
So
like,
that's why I
talking
thought
to
it
the
was
kids in
funny.
the back, like, can you hold it to the next stop? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know. Giants are real. Dinosaurs aren't. Shit. I mean, dinosaurs are real. We're real. Giants never were. It'd be
that's the
cool.
most, it's so backwards from everything that I've, like, heard. It's weird.
Yeah. It'd be honestly, it'd be kind of scary right now in 2026 if we found that to be true because we know that they had. Oh God, I can't even remember the terminology for this stuff. We know that recently, using DNA from something prehistoric, they cloned it. Imagine if there were giant humans that were like 15 feet tall. We'd be going in to clone that from the DNA if we can pull any DNA strands out, and that would not be good.
Was
Wouldn't
it
be
the
good.
dire wolf?
I don't know. I think
Mm.
so. I might be wrong though. And on that note, just heard recently the dire wolf isn't as big as people think
Correct.
because that's just what you see in movies and TV
Hmm.
shows. It wasn't. It was larger than
Average, but it wasn't like
average, but it wasn't what you see in like Game of Thrones, where it's just basically a lion that looks like a
a,
dog-ish thing.
a horse-sized wolf. Yeah.
Yeah. again, big feet. Um, well, that's it for tonight. I know you have any closing thoughts on this. I mean, I think we pretty much said it. We've never really heard of this.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's interesting. It's backwards from everything that I've previously heard about
Yeah,
the supposed cover-ups of giants or not giants or whatever. I guess at this point.
and people will use things like this to account for other things, such as the pyramids. I've seen that theory that
Yeah,
giants built it or
yeah.
helped build it. That's how they got the stones up. People will use shit like this to say, well, that is the only way, you know. And,
I mean, I don't know. I agree with like the whole idea of it is just interesting that we've had like that people may have had the same idea over all of the civilizations in which in art they draw uh important or strong or how powerful leaders larger.
could, yeah, it could be a king.
I mean, right, exactly, but like to have all the civilizations do that,
Yeah.
it's like, oh well.
Yeah, there's always something you can question and looks odd. I get that.
But
Because
I mean, I
that,
also wasn't around 2,000 years ago, so I don't know how things have been bastardized and changed, you know?
but maybe psychologically speaking, that says something about humans, and that you get this throughout the entire world, different continents, people still envisioning giants and drawing and carving them. Maybe it says something about our human psyche that we're just not aware of,
It's fair. The human
you know?
brain is still a very unexplored thing. So
Not as much as the ocean.
this is true. I was actually thinking about the ocean. I was saying that. I was like, but the ocean.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, on that note, obscuredr1 at gmail.com. If you have a story of your own, type story in the subject line. Tell us your story. We'll tell it on here. If you want to come on the show, you can come on the show. Do it as well. You might be able to come on the show. It depends if your name's Joe Lombardo. Yeah, no. But you catch my drift. With that said, peace out.